From the age of 17 into my early 20s, I struggled with depression and an addiction to self-cutting. Diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, I spent years in therapy, time in a psychiatric hospital, and was on about half a dozen different antidepressants. I wasn't that obvious kid with problems. I was more the disguised, quiet girl, makes good grades, and keeps a lot of secrets. While the professional interventions certainly helped to a point, it didn't work to heal me. What did work was something I couldn't have planned or been prescribed by a doctor. It was my relationship with a man named Truth. What Freedom Smells Like is a true story of going all the way into the depths of a hell of my own making and the extraordinary supernatural events that brought me back. Truth was by appearances very different from me. Raised around the Black Panthers in Berkeley, he was proud, fiercely intelligent, and looked like someone you didn't want to mess with. Of course, that made me instantly want to sleep with him. Being a fair-skinned white girl from New Orleans, I had grown up surrounded by racism, but had closed my eyes to it. After all, I was on the privileged side of the fence. After a whirlwind of falling in love in the summer of 1995, I invited him to come back with me to New Orleans. We lived in near poverty at first, as neither of us were cut out for the professional track. Truth was too proud, I was too crazy. So by default, we became entrepreneurs. It was the infancy of the internet, and Truth was a computer whiz, so we began a web design company. We met a client who ran porn sites, and our fortunes changed almost instantly. We got into designing and marketing pornography sites, and we went from poverty to members of the 1% Club almost overnight. We moved into a gorgeous home on the edge of a state park, designed to look like a lighthouse. On the outside, our relationship looked pretty good, but inside, spinning out of control. We both had problems with anger. I had always taken it out on myself, but that changed to letting myself be the victim to Truth's rage, which spilled out into violence. The irony of the lost living in a lighthouse never ceases to make me smile. In 1999, Truth got sick. We thought it was food poisoning. It wasn't. And after 11 days in the ICU, he died. I wasn't raised with a religious faith. I always thought death was the end. Lights just go dark. But from the moment I saw my husband's dead body, I couldn't explain it, but I knew something was happening to me. I began having what people call visits from Truth in my sleep. I had studied my dreams all my life in college and in therapy, and I knew these dreams were not coming from me. 3 visits and a session with a famous medium, and I couldn't deny what I was feeling. He was not really dead, not the way I thought dead would be. And this realization is what changed everything. My hate and my pain, it began to dissolve almost instantly. If I'm gonna be here forever, then how can I hate anything? Also, about 80 pounds dissolved, and I found my strength, my core, that glow inside of me that had always been there, just waiting for me to wake up. I found that the same intense emotions that had driven me to cut could be channeled into characters on stage or stories on paper. I feel like I've been given a gift of incredible preciousness. This relationship I had with Truth, and experiencing him both in this plane and in the hereafter, this is what healed me. This is how I found myself.